Hey guys, it's Jennifer. Welcome back to Crafty Makey TV. I've got another great video for you today. I'm making like 3 or 4 videos today. I'm really excited. So this video is about fermentation. I don't know, it's all the rage and it has been for a few years. We used to preserve food by fermenting it, and it's a great way. I mean, we all know about gut health and how probiotics and good bacteria promote gut health and can help with everything from inflammation to weight loss to, even fighting cancer cells and all kinds of things. Your immune system starts in your gut. So it's really important to have a healthy gut biome. I wanted to talk about a product that I purchased initially for my daughter and then got one for myself that actually got me into fermenting, because I've always wanted to try it but have been a little leery. Oh, what if the stuff goes bad? I don't know what to do. I don't know if I have the right things, tools, or whatever the case may be. And I found this kit from a company called Masontops. I don't know if you can see that. And it's a complete fermentation kit. It does not come with the jars, but I will show you what it does come with. It, of course, has in it the guide. It has a fermentation guide that has recipes in it that are actually really good recipes. I use the base recipe for some sauerkraut that I currently have fermenting right here. I started that on the 5th of January and it's doing well. This one actually got a little excited and bubbled over all over my kitchen counter while I was on travel for work. My husband wasn't really happy about that, so just be aware when you first start a fermentation, you might want to put it in a bowl or some kind of vessel to catch any overflow for the first couple of days when it really starts getting active. So until you know exactly what it's going to do or not do. But in this kit, you get, and it's packaged, I'm going to show you how it's packaged really nicely in foam. And you can use this to store your stuff while you're not using it, which is also awesome. But it's got these they call them pickle pebbles or pickle pucks. And it's basically a glass weight that you put inside of and it's for wide mouth jars. You put it inside of a wide mouth mason jar to weight down your vegetables or fruits or whatever you're fermenting so that it stays under the brine. And that's the key. Fermenting is an anaerobic process, which means it does not use oxygen. It is without oxygen. So in order to keep it anaerobic and not grow mold, you need to keep your veggies weighted down and under your brine. And that's what this guy is for. And they're great. And like I said, you could store them right here in the package when you're not using them. The other thing that comes in this package, you get 4. So you get 4 of those glass weights, the pickle pucks or pickle pebbles. You also get 4 of these pickle pipes, they're called. And it's like a great big nipple for your mason jar. If you look, if I squeeze it right there, can you see it? Oh yeah, you can see it opening, right? You see it opening? Yeah. So it's got a cross hatch in it, just like a baby bottle nipple. And what that does is that allows the CO2, which gets produced by the bacteria eating the sugars and producing enzymes in your ferment. It allows the CO2 gas to escape out of your jar, but keeps oxygen from getting in. And remember, fermentation is an anaerobic process, so we don't want oxygen getting into our jar, and this pickle pipe will help keep oxygen out and let the CO2 also escape. Another cool thing that is in this box is this Picklepacker, which is an acai wood. It's almost like a big muddler. I used it to macerate the cabbage that I used for my kraut. Instead of creating a brine to go over the cabbage. So, and I'll talk about that in a second. So I created a brine to go over these delicious fermenting Brussels sprouts. But for the cabbage, I simply used my Picklepacker and macerated it, kind of pounded it out in a bowl while adding salt to it, and it made its own brine. It released juices, and this helps to soften the cell membranes, because cabbage is kind of tough and stringy, so it helps to soften those cell membranes of the cabbage and create that nice brine so that you can pack it into your jar. It also works if your husband or significant other kind of ticks you off a little bit. You can give them a good whack. It's got a nice little engraving on there, a Masontops engraving. Almost looks like a little baseball bat. So really, it's a super nice set. I got a great deal on it. I'll see if I can't find and put a link down in the description box for this kit. You can also buy these things separately. Like say you don't need the weights or you don't need the Picklepacker. You can buy all of these things separately on Amazon, and I'll go ahead and put links down there. And if you do click on my Amazon links, I do get a small commission, and it's no extra charge to you. It just helps support me and this channel so that we can keep doing cool stuff like this together. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was different things that you can ferment. So these are pickles that I fermented, and I let them go for about a week, and I probably could have stopped them at 5 days, and they would have been fine. They were very tasty after only a few days. So this is a way that you can make fresh fermented pickles. There's a bay leaf in there, and I put a pinch of black tea in there. The tannins from the tea and the bay leaf are going to help keep your vegetables crisp while they're fermenting. Otherwise, they might get a little soft. And if you want them softer, that's fine. Just don't use the tea or bay leaves. This, like I said, I let it go. Could have stopped it after 5 days, but I let it go for a week. They're delicious. They're delicious. These are not going to last long. I'm going to have to make some more. You don't want to use English cucumbers or slicing cucumbers when you make fermented pickles. They will get mushy. So you want to make sure that you use like the little Kirby's or the pickling cucumbers, the guys that are kind of short and fat and whatnot. So make sure you use the right kind of cucumber. This is something I just put up yesterday. I got some fresh Brussels sprouts, and I put in the bottom of my jar, I put some rosemary and some garlic, cloves that I cut in half. I added a few peppercorns, some coriander seed, and some mustard seed. And then I made a brine. I used about 50% smoked sea salt and 50% Himalayan pink salt. You never want to use iodized salt when you do a ferment. My understanding is that if you use an iodized salt, it will actually take away from the fermentation process, just like you don't want to use chlorinated water. If you have city water like I do, you're going to want to use distilled or bottled water when you create your brines, so that you don't take away from that fermentation process or slow it down. It can slow it down a great deal. So let's talk a minute about making a brine. One real easy trick is just a really quick mathematical equation that you can do to get a perfect brine every time. How do you like that? So you just take your mason jar, your empty mason jar, you put it on a kitchen scale, and you add, so have everything chopped up and ready to go. And so you put your mason jar on your scale and you tear it out to 0 so that it reads 0 with your mason jar sitting on your scale. And then you add all of your vegetables and your spices up to, approximately the shoulder of your mason jar. And then you are going to put water on top of that, and then take note of the weight of that water. and vegetable combination together. Then what you're going to do is you're going to pour out the water that you just poured onto your vegetables. You're going to pour that out into a separate mason jar, and you're going to calculate a 2.5% brine. So you take the weight in grams of your vegetable and water combination, you take that weight in grams, multiply it by 0.025, and you will have a 2.5% salt brine for your fermentation. Salt brines are recommended to be anywhere from 2 to 3%. I like a 2.5% brine. It works well for me. It's not overpowering, it's not super salty, and I think it works out great. So that's a great way that you can calculate a brine. You can also follow your favorite recipe. There's nothing wrong with that either, however you want to do it. My daughter is fermenting radishes. She's also fermenting onions and cilantro, and she's making what they call a ginger bug so that she can make her own fermented soda. So that's some really cool stuff that is going on around the Crafty Makey household right now. We also would like to try making some kombucha. I don't know when we're going to get around to that, but when we do, we'll make sure to let you know so that you can be involved with that too. So, you know, if you like what you see, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down below. Click the notification bell up at the top. You'll get notified when we make new videos. Go over and visit our Facebook page at Crafty Makey TV on Facebook. There's always conversations going on there. So go ahead and take a look at our page, like our page, and you will be notified when we put new posts up on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is at Crafty Makey TV. So again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and you all have a great day.